Today we're comparing two of Samsung's newer tablets, the Galaxy Tab S11 and the Galaxy Tab S10 Plus. So which is the better option? Well, let's talk about it. Pricing is actually pretty similar between these two at $799 for the Tab S11, while the S10 Plus is currently on sale for $835 as of this video. Now, one advantage for the S10 Plus is it starts with 256 gigabytes versus 128 for the Tab S11. You can also use a micro SD card on both of these, up to 1 terabyte for the S10 Plus, 2 terabytes for the S11. Both of these also have Wi-Fi 6E. Probably one of the biggest differences is you've got a larger 12.4 inch display on the S10 Plus versus 11 inch for the S11. The S10 Plus is also heavier at 576 grams versus 481 for the Tab S11. Both of these are IP68, dust and waterproof. The Tab S11 does have a peak brightness of 1600 nits, which should be quite a bit better for outdoor use versus 930 nits for the S10 Plus. Both have an AMOLED 2X display with up to 120 Hz refresh rate, but I think once you put them next to each other, they're actually closer than you would think. The S10 Plus is a little higher resolution at 2800 by 1752 versus 2560 by 1600 for the Tab S11. The S10 Plus also has an anti-reflective coating, so you don't have to worry about things glaring on the screen as much for the S10 Plus, where you don't have that on the Tab S11. Now, when it comes to batteries, obviously the S10 Plus has a larger battery at 10,090 milliamp hour versus 8,400 for the Tab S11. But when I ran my typical battery drain test, the Tab S11 actually lasted 9 hours versus only 7 for the S10 Plus. I think the S11 is probably a little more efficient with the newer processor as well. You should be able to get a couple days with normal use for both of these, even longer once you turn the screen brightness down. So actually pretty good battery life compared to other tablets that I've tested. But if you want the tablet with better battery life, I would go with the Tab S11. Now, software-wise, is going to be almost identical between these two. I feel like you have a little more options when it comes to AI features on the S11, but most of those were added to the S10 Plus with a software update. Nice thing is you get 7 years of software updates with both of these. So even though the S11 is going to be 1 year ahead of the S10 Plus, you're still getting some of the best software support compared to pretty much every other tablet out there. You also get Samsung DeX on both of these tablets. I probably still prefer the older classic Samsung DeX versus the new floating window style, but obviously that's going to come down to personal preference. And you've got video out on both tablets, so you can use an HDMI adapter to connect to a projector, TV, or external monitor pretty easily. You also get the newer style of S Pen with the Tab S11. It actually feels more like a regular pencil versus the regular round S Pen on the S10 Plus. I think the newer S Pen's a little more comfortable, but keep in mind, the new style doesn't have Bluetooth anymore, so you can actually do more stuff with the older S Pen on the S10 Plus, but it is kind of nice that you don't have to charge the new style of S Pen on the Tab S11, so it's probably going to be personal preference on which S Pen is better. Although I do think one advantage for the S10 Plus is you can put the S Pen on the back or on the side, where it's only on the side now for the newer Tab S11. If you do a lot of drawing and taking notes, or if you just think you're going to be using the S Pen a lot more often, you may want to consider the larger screen on the S10 Plus, just so you have a little bit more space. Now, as far as performance goes, the Tab S11 comes with a MediaTek Dimensity 9400 Plus versus a MediaTek Dimensity 9300 Plus and the older S10 Plus. So not a huge surprise, but the Tab S11 is going to be more powerful in single and multi-core scores, and it's got quite a bit better GPU performance as well. I think both of these are pretty good options for gaming as well. The Tab S11 is a little easier to hold and to reach things on the screen, but if you're using a controller, it is pretty nice to have a larger screen like the S10 Plus, so it may come down to what types of games you're playing. Now, when it comes to speakers, you've got 2 speakers on each side with Dolby Atmos on both of these. I think the S10 Plus has the slight advantage as far as overall loudness, but both of these actually sound pretty good in person. Here's a quick sample of each, just to give you an idea of how they sound. Now when it comes to cameras, you've got 2 cameras on the back for the S10 Plus versus 1 camera on the back for the S11. You've got an extra 8 megapixel ultra wide camera on the back of the S10 Plus versus a single 13 megapixel on the back of the S11. You also have 2 cameras on the front for the S10 Plus, a 12 megapixel wide angle and a 12 megapixel ultra wide versus just one 12 megapixel camera on the front of the Tab S11. You can also shoot up to 4K resolution for video recording on both of these. I think you'll actually get pretty similar results regardless of which one you go with, but here's a few quick samples of each just to give you an idea of how they compare. So hopefully this gave you a little closer look at these 2 tablets from Samsung. Some of it's going to come down to personal preference, but there's definitely a few things that might make some lean towards one or the other. Personally, I don't think you can go wrong with either one. It may just come down to what types of stuff you're going to be doing and whether you need the larger screen or not. I know I've got a lot more tablet comparisons that I'm working on as usual, so keep an eye out for those upcoming videos. So if you've made it this far into the video, you may want to say thanks by subscribing, and don't forget to give a thumbs up if this video was helpful. This is Brian from Fishbee Productions. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.